Thanks very much for tuning in. A very happy Republic Day to our viewers. I'm Nabila Jamal. I take you through news from India and across the globe. Let's start with our top story as we delve deep this hour into the 113 nominations that have been announced for Padma Bhushan, which is the country's one of the highest civilian honors. You have Congress accusing the centre of trying to use these awards in poll-bound states to influence votes. We're going to take you through the names of the awardee list and also what the allegation is. And also in our top story tonight is several shrines like Kedarnath, Badrinath shrines, etc. are mulling over banning non-Hindus from visiting these religious places to maintain the sanctity. Now, is it possible in a diverse secular country like India? We're going to take you through those details. And our top story on Day Tonight is the 8-kilometer traffic jam and just choco-block roads, all leading up to Himachal as it snows heavily. Stay with us. The headlines first. Veteran actor Dharmendra has been honoured with Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Mammootty, Alka Yagnik receive Padma Bhushan. Prasenjit Chatterjee, R. Madhavan and late Satish Shah have been awarded Padma Shri for contributions to Indian music and cinema. President Draupadi Murmu confers Ashoka Chakra to India's space hero and fighter pilot, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla. The BSF foils Pakistan's infiltration bid as intruder killed in Jammu and Kashmir's Samba. 3 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists have been trapped. Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann says Punjab has been unjustly denied Chandigarh as state's own capital. Will go all out to put in efforts to secure the city, Punjab University and water rights amid Haryana's dispute. The Lok Bhavan Chalo campaign on January 27th. Congress is all set to hold padayatras in all taluks against replacement of the Manrega Act with VBG Ramji scheme, alleging centres weakening 20-year-old rural employment law. Verdict on censor dispute over Vijay's Jananayagan film to be delivered tomorrow. The court to finalize the fate of the actor's last movie before his political entry. China's top general accused of leaking nuclear secrets to the United States as Xi Jinping continues purge of top military staff. All right, let me take you through our top story here on the Padma Awards. That's all set to be given out in a few days now. You have, as per tradition, just ahead of Republic Day, these names are announced. So, as India is celebrating its Republic Day, we talk tonight about national honour and a national argument that's now hit headlines. As per tradition, 131 Padma Awards for 2026 were announced ahead of Republic Day. The President of India, Draupadi Murmu, approved 5 Padma Vibhushan, 13 Padma Bhushan and 113 Padma Shri, 16 awards given posthumously. Among the most prominent names are a Padma Vibhushan posthumously given for V.S. Achuthanandan, who is a founder and member of the CPIM and former Kerala Chief Minister. A man who famously fell out with his own leadership, his party leadership, including the current Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, and was even removed from the CPIM Politburo in 2007. So him getting an honour, his son V.A. Arun Kumar calls this honour as absolutely priceless, says the family accepts it with great gratitude and warmth. He says it is a recognition from the country, it is priceless and the family takes that honour with great pleasure. That's what his son Arun says. Also posthumously awarded a Padma Bhushan was to Shibu Soren, founder of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha party that has often been a political adversary of the BJP. So really looking at the award list, You're looking at ideologically different names, left leaders, regional icons, cultural figures, people from sports, film stars, environment, arts. But the Congress here, opposition very strongly believing that this is a list that's drawn out by the BJP, the centre, to try and target poll-bound states for their political benefits. The highest civilian honours, according to the Congress, is being electionized. Or rather, Congress calls this electionization of Padma Awards. Their charge is that poll-bound states, right now, the current year, poll-bound states account to nearly 18% of the country's population, of which the awards have been given to 37% of people from that region itself. The Congress there pointing out statewide data, saying Tamil Nadu has got 13 awards, West Bengal has got 11 awards. These are all poll-bound states. Kerala has got 8 awards, Assam has got 5, Puducherry 1, all states that are currently heading into elections. Congress asks if this is sheer coincidence or very thoughtful, strategic, political calibration. Now, this isn't the first time that this charge has been thrown at the BJP in the centre. In 2019, former President Pranab Mukherjee had received the Bharat Ratna. In 2024, just before the general elections, it went to P.V. Narasimha Rao, along with Karpuri Thakur and Chaudhry Charan Singh. In fact, in 2024, saw a flurry of Bharat Ratnas across ideological lines. L.K. Advani was honoured as the Ram Temple inauguration dominated headlines. P.V. Narasimha Rao long was sidelined by his own party. He was posthumously honoured, seen by many as one recognition, of course, but also a big political messaging it sent out. Chaudhry Charan Singh, he was awarded amid Jat discontent over farm laws, soon after which his grandson Jayant Chaudhary joined the NDA. Karpuri Thakur, a social justice icon, was honoured as the opposition had pushed for caste census. Soon after that, Nitish Kumar turned to the NDA. So when Padma Awards land again in multiple poll-bound states, the Congress says this clearly fits pattern, exactly what we've been saying. The Congress, within its own party also, they have conflicting voices. Of course, Shashi Tharoor from Kerala publicly, openly congratulated the awardees, particularly for V.S. Achuthanandan, also for Justice K.T. Thomas, P. Narayanan, M. Muthunayagan, former football captain I.M. Vijayan, dance educator Kalamandalam, Vimala Menon, environmentalist Kolakkal Devaki Amma, and actor Mammootty. All of them were awarded. So, Shashi Tharoor openly congratulating all of them, while people like Karti Chidambaram within the same Congress echoing concerns about poll-linked favoritism, asking sarcastically what will BJP do if the country goes into one election then, one nation, one election. Well, the BJP has hit back, calling this criticism as cheap shots. They say that Modi government has in fact depoliticized Padma Awards, moving them away from elite circles and towards actual public service, not political affiliation.
मोदी जी पद्म अवार्ड को पीपल्स अवार्ड मानते हैं क्योंकि मोदी जी असुरक्षित भाव से काम नहीं करते, क्योंकि मोदी जी स्टेट्समैन है, क्योंकि मोदी जी के लिए देश बड़ा है और गांधी वाड्रा परिवार के लिए केवल परिवार बड़ा है। उनको पार्टी या परिवार की चिंता नहीं, उनको पार्टी और देश की चिंता नहीं। इसीलिए जिस प्रकार से वो अपने ही सीनियर नेताओं का, गुलाम नबी आजाद हो, शकील अहमद हो या शशि थरूर हो, उनका अपमान करते हैं, दूसरी तरफ मोदी जी अपने राइवल्स का भी सम्मान करते हैं।
Well, so recognition that genuinely spans ideologies. Can these awards ever be completely insulated from electoral optics in a democracy like ours? Let's bring in our guests on board. Dr. Shatorupa, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us. We also have Meeta Chakrabarti, spokesperson of the Congress, and KV Prasad, senior journalist. Thanks all of you for joining us on this. Let me start with Meeta Chakrabarti, who has a concern that this pattern looks very familiar. Year on year, there's been claims that the BJP, the centre, has been using these awards to sort of benefit from poll-bound states, largely giving a chunk of it to states that are going to elections. This year's list also looking very similar and familiar. Meeta, give us exactly what the concern is. My only question here is if these are people who were due to be honoured, whether it's political or not, you'll always find something to criticize. It wasn't done then, they're doing it now. What's wrong?
First of all, good evening to all your viewers and good evening to the fellow co-panelists as well. While I congratulate the people who have been declared as winners of this Padma Awards, and I do not have any doubt about their capabilities or about the contributions they have made in their respective areas, one cannot possibly run away from the fact that this is also being used as a tool of subtle political messaging. And possibly not so subtle. When you have 38 of the awards being given to residents of poll-bound states, and when you have huge number, I think Kerala is probably receiving 13, West Bengal is probably receiving 11. So one cannot run away from the simple fact that this data in itself tells you a story. However, what is unfortunate, I know that the central government is making a lot of gestures and political messaging to reach out to people of Bengal. But when Bengali speaking individuals, Indian nationals get targeted and get marked as Bangladeshis in BJP ruled states, and when they get butchered in other states, we have an example of Jewel Rana in Orissa, then how do they strike this balance? In one side, Bengali speaking individuals in different BJP ruled states are being attacked for their linguistic identity. On other hand, you are making an overture and you're actually trying to appreciate the Bengali contribution in the art and culture and in other states as well, in Kerala. One very interesting observation, I was just going through the list of Padma Bhushan award receiving list. We also saw as how the governor of Maharashtra, who was the master of this midnight oath ceremony that took place, Mr. Bhagat Singh, when Devendra Fadnavis was sworn in and later it had to be, he could not prove his numbers. He is also a recipient of a Padma Bhushan award. So I think all these pointers definitely cast a doubt as whether BJP and the central government is clearly trying to use this as a political tool, to give something back to the people who have politically supported them, or give something to people who are residents of poll-bound states.
But can awards be completely insulated? In your time, there was never an award given that kind of may have appeared as a favor?
Maybe not to this extent. And secondly, just because if there had been any given where there has been any favoritism, I'm sure there had been criticizing people criticizing from the opposition as well. The same will follow now. So if anything happens which is so blatant, and when there is such political messaging happening, then obviously the opposition is well within its rights to call it out and to criticize it.
Okay. Dr. Shatrupa, what's your response to that? A very familiar pattern. We're looking at poll-bound states disproportionately represented this year.
Oh, good evening, Nabila. Good evening, Mitadi and everybody else on the panel, and of course your viewers. Now, firstly, I'd really like to congratulate Ma'am Mita Chakraborty that she's brilliant. I mean, the way she's analyzed the list and she's, almost broken it down. She definitely needs to be on this committee which decides the Padma Shri Awards.
Why not? Don't you think an opposition members also should be there? Maybe
anyone has a right to make an observation.
I mean, I'm saying this in all good intent. I don't know why Congress always has to jump at everybody's throat. Congress, unfortunately, look at the kind of knowledge that she has. She should definitely be in the committee. But unfortunately, Congress cannot think beyond Gandhi's, their family, their cottage or their personal assistants, their secretaries. So I really don't want to get into this and, who's got and who hasn't got and which poll-bound state. There is I think everybody knows, there is a separate committee which decides this. Thousands and lakhs of applications fall, they're given. And it is that entirely up to that committee which decides, and I really don't know what the process is and what is the criteria for the people who get these awards. All I can say is, at least when ever since we have been at the central government, there have been several cases where you will see that ordinary people from the last section of society who've been doing some good work, they have been brought out and brought into focus. So now, if they have a problem, if Congress has a problem with poll-bound states and the people who are deciding in poll-bound states, fortunately or unfortunately
Not have a
for the
problem.
awardees,
Not a
that they are
problem with
deciding in these
the
poll-bound
political
states, I suggest they wait a bit and let BJP go through with the one nation, one election procedures. Then there will be absolutely no problem with whoever gets the awards across the country. But the other thing that I really want to say is what you were showing in the list. And of course, I'm sure Meeta ma'am has gone through the list very, very, very carefully. There have been very many people who are not even from our party. So I mean,
No, but that's
why do we have to politicize this highest possible award,
that's
which is
precisely the
stamped by
question,
the
ma'am.
President of India?
Not from your
Why
party.
would you want to demarcate this in political pockets? There are very many people who are normal. If it was a political thing, I don't think it would be given. This needs to go. These awards need to go way beyond politics. One has to look at it from a very patriotic point of view, that these people are truly deserving. Yes, many people in Bengal are saying, for example, Prosenjit Chatterjee, he should have been given the award much earlier. Congress should have given it. Why is Congress jumping up and down now? Is it that
Okay. No, my only question, Dr.
the central
Shatarupa,
government
is that we understand that they are not part of your political party, but there's could there be a way to law them by awarding them, or
many of
there's nothing there, or
many of them are dead, I think. Many of them are have already crossed over. So I don't know whether we would like Trinamool does. I mean, unfortunately, Trinamool is not here. But Meeta ma'am is speaking in the tune of Trinamool. I don't know why suddenly.
No,
But
we are
would you
speaking
really want to
the
you
National
a
Congress.
party with dead people, with posthumous awards? I don't think BJP stoops so low. But however, Bharatiya Janata Party has always believed, especially the Prime Minister himself, has always believed in giving recognition where it is truly due. It does not matter whose assistant you are, what lineage you have, whether you come from
Timing
a
is a speech,
particular
yes.
family or not. We go beyond. We always, our basic ideology in BJP has been to bring up the last man in society. Many of these
okay,
people.
so that's one thing I do agree that under the Modi government, a lot of people who we had no idea about, at least directly, the nation did not celebrate a lot of faces that we do today. A lot of people in the back, who really contributed immensely to the society in many fields have been recognized. That agreed, but the timing, the states, all of that is a question that even a common person would ask. It's not just a political question, it's also any common person would ask a natural question as to how come these poll-bound states have the heaviest share of the Padma Bhushan or Vibhushan or Bharat Ratna usually. So Mr. K.V. Prasad might tell us a little more as a journalist. Sir, do we see ahead of elections, and is this just under Modi government, or we've seen this across party lines, that right ahead of elections we see a spike in Padma Bharat Ratna awards in poll-bound states?
Well, I'll just say a couple of things. One, politics is all about perception, and politics is all about the art of possible. So as I heard both the spokespersons of the major national parties, these are the two thoughts that crossed my mind. Because obviously the perception is, as you had rolled out in your beginning of the statement, that the BJP has done 30 plus awards are in poll-bound states.
Yeah.
And this kind of a spread, I don't remember in the last few years that this kind of a spread, states which are going to polls, obviously this is in a democratic setup, we are free to comment. The BJP or the government may not like it. That's fair enough. In a democracy, we have the right to question issues, whether you're in a political party which agrees or in a political party which disagrees. That's being said. As I said, perception is what matters in politics. The perception the BJP says it is neutral, it doesn't believe in it, it has a fairly, let us say, spread very widely. Ordinary people are getting it. Let me also tell you, even before, very people who are out of the, what I say, in limelight, have been recorded recognition, the Padma Awards. It's just that this has been more democratized, if I want to use that word, because you can nominate yourself now. That's the advantage, whether somebody votes for me or not in the committee. But who gets to pick up the committee? We all know who gets to pick up the committee. And who are the people who decide who forms the committee? We all know, we all. So, you can't separate these things. The process is there. It's not that the country is voting. It's not that everybody is voting across, oh, I want this person to get. We can nominate ourselves, we can nominate our friends, we can nominate our relatives who we think. That having been said, there has been instance where I remember a particular case. I don't want to say in particular, but there was a case way back in 80s, mid 80s, when a prominent political leader was given Bharat Ratna. And that time too, this controversy or this argument was there that this highest civilian award was politicized. So that being said, what I'm saying is, do we have a foolproof system? No, the governments of the day have the say. The governments of the day will decide the format. Okay, we have opened up the things for more people to join in, but I don't see this as a foolproof mechanism. The government will continue to do what it should do. But as I said, politics is the art of perception. Politics is the art of possibility. The Congress is doing the art of possibility. The BJP is doing perception management.
Okay, so in your view, you're saying this looks like a clear election favor. I wouldn't call it favor. It's too harsh a word for those deserving candidates. But
no, please. For a moment, there is no question of saying that the people who have been selected
are not
for
meritorious.
This award,
yes.
No, please. Let's come to one specific aspect. Mr. Achuthanandan's case, right? He died at the ripe age of 98 plus. I have had personally interacted with him because I was covering the party at some point of time for the paper I was working with. His party's line is they don't accept a government award. Nambudiri Pal was asked, Buddhadev Bhattacharya was asked, they did not accept it. That is the party line. But now in the case, this is awarded to the individual and the family has accepted it. The party has not said anything. They don't accept it. So the party has distanced itself. You may say so. Mr. Achuthanandan had issues within the party, just as Mr. Somnath Chatterjee had issues within the party or elsewhere. So these are political leaders who have to deal with their own party structures. We gave it to Charan Singh.
He has done great work. Achuthanandan has done great work. You've interacted with him.
Lots of people. I mean, today we gave it to Mr. Dharmender posthumously. Yes. I mean, somebody can ask, why was he not given when he was alive?
Hema Malini itself asked. She said, she's a BJP MP, and she said, I wish it could have been given earlier, but well, we are still very happy.
I remember Nabila, one particular instance when Mr. Dharmender was given a film for award. He said every year I was getting a suit stitch, hoping one day I'll get a national award, which he never probably. I mean, this is something I remember when I saw a clip 10, 15 years ago. So that's okay. I mean, it's a vast country. We don't get to award everybody. The awards are limited. So I think that's the way I look at it. But we must accept that the people who have been honored by the government of the day do deserve the recognition the country deserves.
Yeah, so then that's precisely what my ending question was while I was explaining the story here, that in a democracy like ours where you have talent and you have great leaders and people contributing immensely across party lines, is it really so easy for such a civilian honor to be truly apolitical?
I don't think it's possible because, okay, let us put it this way. In the last few years, we have got trolls or we have got statements from political parties which don't agree to certain elements getting awards. And then they are tagged, you're pro-Congress, you're pro-BJP, pro this party, pro that party. So how do you deal with it? Obviously, the same political party today, which is under pressure or under attack, turns the tide around and say, oh, such and such person was awarded because they were favorable to government X or was not given.
So there'll be questions raised irrespective.
Yeah, and that is why I say in a democracy, it's a perfectly valid thing to ask questions. It's for the parties to defend their positions. People accept it, well and good. People don't accept it, well and good. That's why the
Mr. Prasad, what happens to the sanctity of these awards? I mean, at one point, I remember, looking at these awards as the holy grail, something that you would have to work
yeah,
so
and
hard
Nabila,
to
I
get.
get your
I'm
point.
not saying that
I
these
get
people
your-
are not meritorious, but again, I don't know. The sanctity of these awards are being questioned repeatedly in the recent past.
Okay, Nabil, I'll come to a different question. I cannot comment on people's achievement in their respective fields. They're all domain experts.
Yeah.
They have contributed, and I'm not aware of everything as a journalist. But I can say in our profession, I believe the biggest award that I or you would get is from your viewer or my reader. They are the ones who decide whether we are worth it. So I mean, I leave it at that. Why should the some administration decide that I'm the best journalist or you are the best anchor?
No, well, at the end of it, to receive a national award is such an honor. Some people
Well,
live.
state awards
It's
are
a.
also given. State awards are also given.
Then that
So
also
again,
could be
they are,
state awards are 100% political, sir. Don't deny it. State awards are
yeah.
100% political.
So I
Let's
would
not
leave it
even
at that. I
Karnataka
mean,
Congress
I
government will
personally,
award people who are
sorry.
friendly with them.
Yeah, Nabila, I do say as personally as a journalist, I believe my reader, my viewer, or my connoisseur is my ultimate trophy.
Okay.
The state, that's the way I look at it. The rest is individual whatever decision they need to take.
Okay. A final word from Ms. Chakravarti. You want to come in on that as the Congress? Is there anything that you may ask to be part of the selecting committee, etc.? Is there anything, any request that you may have to be part of the selection committee?
And I know my good friend Shaturupa from BJP will help me to get into the selection committee of this national.
I'll try.
Thanks for the offer, sir. So I'll really tap on it after this. You're going to receive a call from me right after the show. But jokes apart, I think the fact that you said that the sanctity of these awards are being questioned repeatedly in recent years, that statement of yours should say a story in itself. This kind of awards, which are giving the highest respect to people, and by all means, we are not doubting the talent or the credentials of these people who are receiving these awards. But the fact that this process is now being questioned, the fact that we have data and stats in front of us, that kind of tells a story in itself as how poll-bound states are being given more political mileage, more political visibility, and how these things are also being used as a political tool to reach out for electoral benefit is extremely unfortunate. And to say that in a democratic setup, an opposition cannot have his opinion, an opposition party cannot express his opinion in public domain is also very, very unfortunate. Yes, I'm not a part of the selection committee. My party is not in power in the center, but that does not mean that as the principal opposition political party, we will not have our opinion and we will not express the opinion. We will continue to do that. We will continue to call it out.
Dr. Shatrupa, I'm not exactly sure what the selection process is, but do you believe that government should be a little more transparent when it comes to the selection criteria, reasons for shortlisting? Will you come clean on that? Will the BJP consider that since there are questions being raised?
Nabila, Bharatiya Janata Party has been probably one of the most transparent governments in the history of Bharat. Of course, Congress may not believe, and Congress is, of course, free to voice its own opinion. Nobody said no to that. I mean, we have fun listening to that. It's very entertaining. In fact, I just wanted to, point out two things. One, when Mr. Prasad was talking about Dharmender ji, and when he was saying that humne quotes khilwaya tha every year. I in fact saw that when we used to watch those Cine Awards. I used to feel very bad. But however, now I think even if it is posthumously, he has got the award, which he should have, Padma Awards, he should have got a long, long time back. Now, another thing, when Prashanjit Chatterjee, since he's got it this year, I just want to, this is a comment which was made by Dev, none other than Dev, who's a Trinamool MP now. Few years back, Prashanjit Chatterjee was doing the role of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in a film called Gumnami, which in my capacity as I was then on the panel of censor board of India, and that is how I know the story had come. They had tweeted that he does not need to get an award by posing as Netaji, something like that. I don't remember the word. So this will keep on happening. Who has got the award? Who has not got the award? These kind of bickering will keep on happening. All I can say is this is the highest possible award that a citizen can get. So let us not belittle the awardees. Let us not underestimate that there is a totally different committee which does this, and I am sure the committee is doing its job and rising above politics. I am sure they're doing that.
Okay.
Now, I just want to say one more thing. If you remember, very recently, Priyanka Gandhi went absolutely paranoid in the parliament when we were talking about 150 years of Vande Mataram. She got up and said, "Oh, this is because it is Bengal. Bengal is going into elections. That is why we want to poke up evoke the Bengal sentiment." Now, this everything like Vande Mataram it's a national slogan almost. The song
that's a whole different conversation. I don't want to get into the tangent. A whole different conversation.
I just wanted to point out, I am not deviating.
Okay.
I just wanted to
my
point
question
out
here is
by mentioning this that Congress is somehow getting very edgy. Probably getting very, getting into a very tension mode probably because of the Bengal elections. I really don't know why, because they don't have much to gain out of Bengal elections, maybe in a seat or two. So let BJP and Trinamool handle this election. Watch from a distance.
Okay, but it's interesting, right?
Please do, but don't politicize Padma Shri Awards. Don't do that.
Ma'am, but the question is, who is politicizing? The question that the opposition asks is when people like Pranab Mukherjee's family, they said that he was sidelined in the party. The Congress had a lot of burden to take off that allegation from the family. Then he got awarded.
Vallabhbhai Patel was sidelined.
Yeah, he got awarded. Now you have Achuthanandan, he got awarded. So it's like a political messaging also that the centre is sending out, right? The BJP is also trying to send out a message that you may have sidelined your leader, but we are going to recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's clear.
You're accepting that.
Okay. You know what? Like you rightly said, and all of you agree that these are all people of credibility and great contributions that they've given in their respective fields. Any more discussion on this would only belittle their credibility. And I think we'll end this here on that note, and we wish all of them a hearty congratulations. Thank you very much, our panelists, for joining us. A quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
रश्मि, हाँ? ये मैडम बड़े शहर से छोटे शहर बसने जा रही है, बताओ। अंकल
इंडिया के छोटे छोटे शहरों में ही तो है बड़े बड़े अखाड़े।
नए नए दावपेच सीखेगी और फ्यूचर में मेडल जीतेगी।
और बेटा इनका फ्यूचर?
बड़े पापा, SBI लाइफ से इनका फ्यूचर सिक्योर है।
अभी तो इसकी जीत के इरादा पक्का है। करो पूरे अपने इरादे,
अपनों से किए सभी वादे।
SBI लाइफ अपने लिए,
अपनों के लिए।
दूरियां कोई अपनों में ना रहे, दिल में जब उमंग हो, घर है वही जहाँ सब संग हो, रिश्तों को रंग दो, दुनिया को रंग दो।
बिरला ओपस पेंट्स।
तेरी एक जिद और फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स सब डबल।
रिटायर हो जाऊं क्या?
अच्छा, प्रॉपर्टी के अगेंस्ट लोन का आइडिया किसका था? पर बुढ़ापा आ गया हो।
इनकी जिद ने कारोबार भी बढ़ाया और रोजगार भी। टाटा कैपिटल लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी के साथ।
Indian Racing Festival, only on Star Sports and Jio Hotstar.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ಗೂ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂದಾನೇ ಸಾಧ್ಯ.
ನನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ಸ್.
ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನಸಿನ ಸಾಕಾರ.
With Skoda Supercare and growing network across 180 plus cities, you never drive alone.
Skoda.
Taxes, jobs, housing, electric vehicles, defense. News9 decodes the numbers behind the noise. You define India's growth story. We decode what's in it for you. Budget 2026. No noise, no confusion. A budget for a bulletproof Bharat.
तेरी एक जिद और फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स सब डबल.
रिटायर हो जाऊं क्या?
अच्छा, प्रॉपर्टी के अगेंस्ट लोन का आइडिया किसका था? पर बुढ़ापा आ गया हो.
इनकी जिद ने कारोबार भी बढ़ाया और रोजगार भी. टाटा कैपिटल लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी के साथ.
Welcome back. All right, a big decision is in the pipeline. If goes as planned, then it's likely that many of India's top Hindu shrines may not allow for people of any other faith to enter. Uttarakhand is now at the center of a national conversation after decisions and proposals to restrict religious spaces only to Hindus have now made headlines. Temple authorities there in the state have moved to bar non-Hindus from entering major Himalayan shrines. That includes Gangotri Dham, Badrinath, Kedarnath and the winter abode of Ma Ganga at Mukba. Now, citing the reasons to why they've made this decision and are hoping for people to agree with it, all stakeholders, is because they believe they want to preserve these long-standing religious places and their traditions and its sanctity as it's sacred. The sacred sites needs to preserve its sanctity. So therefore, a decision has been taken. It's yet to be implemented though. The Sri Gangotri Temple Committee has said that the decision was made unanimously during a meeting that was held. The Ganga Sabha, the body that manages the Har Ki Pauri Ghat, and numerous seers have requested the state government to completely ban the entry of non-Hindus at all the 105 ghats in Haridwar, a town that spreads over 120 square kilometers, and to officially designate Haridwar and Rishikesh as Sanatan Pavitra Shehar, that literally translates to sacred cities of the Hindu religion. They want to preserve the tradition and identity of these sites that is considered very unique and sacred in Hindu belief. Now, remember the scale of people who arrive at these shrines. Kedarnath, nearly 1.7 million people who arrive there annually. Badrinath has 1.6 million visitors who come by annually. Gangotri has 7.5 lakh people who come there annually. Summer peak traffic there. And I could go on. The scale itself in Badrinath, 2.7 lakh to a Sikh pilgrimage near Badrinath. So look at the number of people who actually come to these shrines, who visit there annually either for worship or just to feel that spirituality, to feel what Sanatan Dharma and Hinduism really has to offer. It's really a place celebrated. But here you have Hindu priests saying that it should be sacred only for Hindus to be entering the areas. It should not be allowed for non-Hindus. Now, this is similar to what probably the Mecca has in place. The Mecca mandates that only Muslims be allowed inside and no non-Muslims are allowed inside Mecca. Now, could this be a similar rule that would be implemented at these religious sites in India? It's got to be watched to what the committee finally decides, because there are so many factors in place when it comes to economy, stakeholders who in fact have their livelihood around these areas, these pilgrim areas, are going to be hugely impacted. If I could tell you, the tradition, of course, we understand on one hand, but the broader consequences, it's not just religious freedom, but also for millions, they depend on tourism and the pilgrimage economies, especially in towns where tourists of all faiths support local livelihoods. They're going to be heavily impacted. So can our governments really afford this? Of course, the Congress firing at the Uttarakhand government, raising a lot of questions as to how this could be done in a country like ours. Uttar Pradesh, in fact, in response to the committee's decision, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has said that the state government will proceed after reviewing certain laws that enacted regarding these ancient religious sites in the past, and they're going to decide based on that. He also clarified that the opinions of all stakeholders will be considered, but no final policy has been announced yet. That's not been drafted as yet. This is just what they're mulling over. Opposition has criticized the state. Former Uttarakhand Chief Minister, senior Congress leader Harish Rawat said other religions across the world, of course, like I mentioned, barring Mecca, other religions across the world attract people to their places of worship. They do not prohibit, they attract, so that the greatness and qualities of one's religion can be accepted by other people as well. Now, a new tradition has been set into motion. Perhaps there are no issues left on their election agenda, so new agendas are being invented. This is the opposition Congress's response to this decision taken by the Uttarakhand government. Critics have warned that the repercussions could be huge, but let's hear it. Reactions coming in on that.
जितने भी ये धार्मिक स्थल हैं, जो भी हमारे पौराणिक स्थल हैं, हमारे देव स्थान हैं, इन स्थानों को देखने वाले, उनका संचालन करने वाले वहाँ के सभी हमारे जो धार्मिक संगठनों के लोग हैं, तीर्थ सभा के लोग हैं, गंगा सभा के लोग हैं, केदार सभा के लोग हैं, बद्री केदार मंदिर समिति के लोग हैं, हमारा पूज्य संत समाज है, वो सब जो भी चूँकि वही उसका संचालन करते हैं, हमने कहा है कि उनकी जो भी उसमें राय होगी या जो उनका मत होगा उसके अनुसार ही सरकार आगे बढ़ेगी। और ये स्थान हमारे बहुत पौराणिक महत्व के स्थान हैं और इन स्थानों के पहले समय में कुछ कानून भी बने हुए हैं। हम उन कानूनों का भी अध्ययन कर रहे हैं, उसके आधार पर हम आगे बढ़ेंगे।
दुनिया भर में मैं देखता हूँ दूसरे धर्मस्थल अपने धर्मस्थल के प्रति लोगों को आकर्षित करते हैं, प्रतिबंधित नहीं करते, आकर्षित करते हैं, ताकि आपके धर्म की जो महानताएं हैं, जो गुण हैं, जो उनके अच्छे उपदेश हैं, उनको लोग ग्रहण कर सकें और उससे आपके धर्म की महत्ता बढ़े और आपके धर्मस्थलों की महत्ता बढ़े। अब ये नया रिवाज चला है, लगता है चुनावी एजेंडे में और कोई मुद्दे रह नहीं गए हैं, तो इसलिए ये नए तरीके के एजेंडे इजाद किए गए हैं।
All right. Well, let me bring in Advocate Sanjeev Unial, political analyst, and also Advocate Nikhil Jain, an analyst, joining us for more on that. Nikhil, why don't I start with you on what you see in Uttarakhand as opposition? The Congress has said there is no other agenda, and that's why this is happening. But if the seers very strongly believe that they want to preserve the sanctity of a religious site, then why do you think it shouldn't be considered? Like I gave an example of Mecca. Mecca does not allow non-Muslims. You have people all over the world coming to Mecca, but strictly for believers. Why shouldn't it be in India?
First of all, Nabila, happy Republic Day to you and all your viewers. This is the day 76 years ago we adopted this document, the Constitution of India, a secular document that had space for all religions, cultures, practices. And it's rather unfortunate that we're talking about a proposal like this on this particular day. Be that as it may, you raise the point of Mecca, and that's a very valid point. But what my friends from the BJP fail to understand is that there is a difference between Islam and Hinduism. Hinduism is an idea of faith and spirituality and religion where you have many gods, you have many deities, you have different ways of worship, you have different cultures, and it's an inclusionary system of faith, unlike the three Abrahamic religions like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, where there is one God, monotheistic. They are codified religions. There is no single and only sole single scripture of Hinduism. There are multiple scriptures of Hinduism, unlike a Quran or a Bible, in the case of Christianity and Islam. But the problem is that the BJP hates Muslims so much, Islam so much that, but they're ironically they're trying to push Hinduism into a very similar silo. And you say that seers want this. I don't think the seers want it, because what I read was that the temple committee chairman, who happens to be a BJP leader, wants it, not a seer. Of course, preserving our culture, the Hindu heritage, our ancient temples has to be a priority for any government, state government, union government, BJP, Congress, doesn't matter. It has to be a priority. But the way you preserve these important ancient sacred sites is to ensure that you don't have influencers making reels, you don't have politicians going with a camera set to do a photo shoot for an election, you don't have some bus terminal or some hotel being built over temple ruins, you don't have bulldozers running over idols and sculptures and mandirs and ancient sites and ghats. It is to respect the ancient traditions like holy snan that our Shankaracharyas and other seers do, and not to beat them up like that's being done in Varanasi. It's not to disrespect our top seers by asking them, "Aapko Shankaracharya ka adhikar kisne de diya? Kagaj dikhao." It is to preserve the culture. This is not preserving Indian culture. Number one, this is illegal and unconstitutional. And number two, and perhaps more important in this particular case, is that it goes against the very ethos of Hinduism. There is no precedent or custom or faith or scripture that says that Kedarnath temple or Badrinath temple or a whole bunch of other Hindu shrines are limited to people who follow the Hindu religion. And lastly, I want to point out this dichotomy for your viewers, that it is the BJP and the RSS ideologues who keep on saying that Hinduism is not a religion. Look, there is a Supreme Court judgment saying that it is a way of life. Everybody who belongs to the Indus Valley civilization is a Hindu. Then what is this point of restricting these, ancient cultural sites of India to people who, worship a particular deity? This is boring to me.
Okay. Advocate Sanjeev Unyal, your take on that. Do you believe that this is constitutionally a decision that the government can take? Because it's also a site where tourists come. There's a larger repercussion when it comes to, impact on local workers, the traders, the hotels, transport. It's going to be huge losses at the same time. But I don't know, under the constitution, do these religious seers have the right to make a demand of this nature?
Hindu is a religion which is very flexible, first of all. We are not adamant. We are reformist. We have changed our rules and regulations from last 50 years, 100 years. So this community, this religion is very flexible. They are not adamant. So it speaks volume about the depth of Hinduism. And I've seen recently the power of Hindu saints. What happened in Allahabad, in Prayagraj, in Magh, that ceremony also. So the volume, the stature of Mahatmas and Shankaracharyas are very high here. They don't believe, we don't care for political leaders, first of all. So that is the beauty of Hinduism. That is we are so much faith in the Hinduism as well as in the saints, as well as in the, हम अपने धर्म के लिए इतने हमने अभी देखा, we have the very strong person who is taking administration, who is doing so much for the state of UP, the chief minister, but we have given a proper weightage to Shankaracharya ji also. So it speaks that so these decisions have been taken here also by top shares, by top, no political leader can take any decision here. So that's why the committee, the Ganga Sabha, the Gangotri Sabha, and the committee of Badri Kedar themselves will take a decision, they will take a call, and government, whatsoever government is there, they have to implement what decisions has been taken from the chiefs, from the saints, and from the committee, Sabha committees who have been nominated members of the particular Char Dhams. So I think political parties has no role at all here. As far as if we say something, then we are confused personality. We don't know what is religion, what Supreme Court says, what is. So it's a monotonous. We have crammed so many things from the books, but practically we are not in the field. We are not in the roots.
Are you someone who would support it, sir? If they close doors for non-Hindus, are you someone who would appreciate
You have given yourself an example of Makkah.
Yeah.
If we see other religions,
Yeah.
what happened in the Makkah? So, first of all, I am quite happy that we are comparatively a broad religion, broad-minded religion. So, we will definitely accommodate and we'll have a lot of thinking. Sanatan is lagatar chalne wala. No tension. We are not doing anything.
So
with
from what I
talwar or
understand, you and Nikhil are on the same lines. That Sanatan does not endorse this. That you are, it is an open faith where, in fact, you say that that's the only faith. Sanatan Dharm believes that that's the only faith that that world has emerged from. So if anything, people go back to it.
Yes,
And
definitely.
therefore, the doors should be open for people of any religion because Ghar Wapsi can happen anytime.
Yes, of course. Ghar Wapsi is always welcome and it will happen.
Okay, so great. I mean, good to know that both of you think the religion does not stand by a philosophy like this. It should ideally be open to anybody who wants to come in and immerse themselves. But thank you very much. We're going to see to what exactly a decision would come from Uttarakhand government soon. A quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
कुछ भी खा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, बहुत अपसेट हूँ।
Take a date, not bites.
नो एडेड शुगर, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
Taxes, jobs, housing, electric vehicles, defense. News9 decodes the numbers behind the noise. You define India's growth story. We decode what's in it for you. Budget 2026. No noise, no confusion. A budget for a bulletproof Bharat.
तेरी एक जिद और फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स सब डबल।
रिटायर हो जाऊं क्या?
अच्छा, प्रॉपर्टी के अगेंस्ट लोन का आइडिया किसका था? पर बुढ़ापा आ गया हो।
इनकी जिद ने कारोबार भी बढ़ाया और रोजगार भी। टाटा कैपिटल लोन अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टी के साथ।
Welcome back. Well, Republic Day today, the 77th Republic Day parade happened in full spirit in a historic first. In a historic first at the 77th Republic Day parade, CRPF Assistant Commandant Simran Bala became the first woman officer to lead an all-male contingent at the Kartavya Path, marking a milestone for women in India's armed forces. The highlight was the display of India's military might. Also, what we saw as part of the Republic Day parade today was Operation Sindoor tableau that highlighted the Army, the Navy and the Air Force in coordinated action. If you could see that Operation Sindoor tableau there you have it, with models of the BrahMos missiles, Akash and S-400 systems and Arjun tanks recreating a live battlefield. That was Operation Sindoor tableau that really caught attention at the Republic Day parade today. Phased battle display through Operation Sindoor in life, with tanks moving in sync with Dhruv and Rudra helicopters, while Apache and Prachand aircraft provided close air support, showcasing India's joint military strength. Beyond defence, the parade celebrated India's cultural diversity and progress. The mantra of freedom, Vande Mataram tableau, honoured tribal freedom fighters like Veer Gandhadur and Shaheed Veer Narayan Singh. Assam displayed the Ashadikandi terracotta craftsmanship, while Himachal Pradesh's Devbhoomi Veer Bhoomi tableau highlighted gallantry award winners and spiritual heritage. Under mantra of prosperity, self-reliant India, Tamil Nadu showcased electric vehicle manufacturing, green technology and techno jallikattu, reflecting sustainable development. Well, President Draupadi Murmu led the celebrations with European Council President Antonio Costa and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen as the chief guest. In fact, Ursula went on to say that she was thoroughly honored to be part of these celebrations, and also said a stable India means a stable world. So quite a spectacular display of India's might there before foreign figures witnessing this parade that had a thorough blend of history, culture and India's defence prowess. Manali, the winter paradise of Himachal Pradesh, has now turned into a frozen nightmare. Heavy snowfall has brought life to a complete standstill, with key national highways buried under 1 to 2 feet of snow. Nearly 7 to 8 kilometers of road remain blocked, turning travel into a test of survival there for many. Tourists have been stranded. Vehicles are frozen in the place there. They've been standing for nearly 48 hours, we hear. Families have been trapped in their cars, battling sub-zero temperatures without food, water or any clarity of rescue. Roads have turned into sheets of deadly black ice, making every turn a high risk. Of course, authorities are trying hard to clear those roads, but alas, it's the weather that's so extreme. Many of them trying to enter Manali were forced to abandon their vehicles midway and leave. Families dragged their luggage through knee-deep snow, carried children, helped elderly relatives there to inch forward in the ice. Some walked even 10 to 20 kilometers as their cars just could not move further. Now, those trying to leave faced equally grim conditions. On Manali-Patli-Khol stretch, traffic has been jammed for over 24 hours. Cars, taxis, buses remain stuck. Passengers spending nights there inside their vehicles to save fuel as temperatures slipped below zero. Volvo bus stand is also blanketed in snow. Platforms there fully slippery, and it's just practically impossible for vehicles to move safely. Viral videos there showing vehicles sliding behind. Now, with hypothermia, dizziness and breathing distress setting in, questions now being raised about why JCBs, snow cutters and rescue teams were not deployed in time despite weather alerts. Now, remember, with a situation like this, a wedding is always in question. Himachal Pradesh's Mandi district, a wedding turned quite extraordinary for a groom and his barat. In Seraj assembly area, a wedding, in fact, a groom literally walked all the way for a few kilometers, literally 7 kilometers through thick snow to get to his wedding venue. That's the tragic part here. Snow continues, but well, weddings do not end. We're only hoping that the government comes in and deploys rescue teams at the earliest to ensure this is cleared. Now, in a chilling reminder of how fragile constitutional freedoms remain at the grassroots, a village in Madhya Pradesh's Ratlam district has openly declared a social boycott against families whose children marry by choice. A viral video from Pancheva village shows villagers publicly announcing punishments amounting to social exile and economic strangulation. The decree warns that any boy or girl who elopes or marries by choice will trigger a boycott of their entire family. The families will be denied basic necessities like milk, barred from working or hiring labor. In fact, they will also be excluded from social events and cut off from all economic activity. In fact, while I'm showing you those images, I'm also showing you the couples who have been murdered in honor killings in the recent past in our country. We're looking at celebrating our 77th Republic Day parade today, completed that many years of our independence, and we have constitutional rights. But yet, you have people who are being killed, honor killing, because of their marrying across religion or across castes or across communities. And here, going a step further, you have a man there in Madhya Pradesh who's announced that there'll be a complete social boycott. No milk, no water, no economic activity involvement. The family will be fully boycotted if they allow their children to marry out of the community, if love marriage happens. The threats extends to anyone offering shelter also to these couples. Employment or support are given to these couples, they will also be targeted as families. Now, after this video surfaced, local administration has intervened. The Janpad CEO and Patwari visited the village, stating that social boycotts are illegal and unconstitutional, of course. And they said that they're waiting for a formal complaint to be filed to take action against this man. Well, the law is clear. Adults, women above 18 and men above 21 have the right to marry by choice. The Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled that such decrees are illegal and that the state must protect those exercising this right. But, well, we still are looking at honor killings happening in 21st century India. A very happy Republic Day. Thanks very much for tuning in.
कुछ भी खा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, बहुत अपसेट हूँ।
Take a date, not bites.
नो एडेड शुगर, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
Taxes, jobs, housing, electric vehicles, defense. News9 decodes the numbers behind the noise. You define India's growth story. We decode what's in it for you. Budget 2026. No noise, no confusion. A budget for a bulletproof Bharat.
इनकी जिद ने किया डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग का सपना सच, टाटा कैपिटल पर्सनल लोन्स के साथ।
Delhi is losing the fight against pollution.
This is not a story of just children. This is the story of every elderly person in the National Capital Region.
Delhi's hazardous air quality.
It's more capital of the world.
Delhi pollution has left us sick and exposed, also frankly embarrassed.
Hazardous air quality are disrupting daily life.
Growing issue of a toxic air looming large over Delhi.
Delhi's air quality index has been hovering between 300 and 400 for the past week.
The culprit was the same PM 2.5, the main pollutant which is emitted from heavy industries, power plants, vehicles, crop burning and coal-based heating.
The overall air quality of the city continues to remain in the very poor category.
We look at how Delhi is once again struggling with danger.
It's not just about today, it's about the future.
When Trump captures Maduro, News9 breaks it first.
It's happening far away, but it has tremendous consequence for the world.
What happens next?
Biggest international headline of the hour.
The US has conducted military strikes.
This is the Venezuelan president.
Maduro faces multiple charges including narco-terrorism.
This is Maduro being taken to the New York court.
Donald Trump indicated that Greenland might be next.
Where will Donald Trump stop?
A dramatic U.S. operation, power shifts in Venezuela. High-stakes geopolitics unfolding. What does this mean for Venezuela? What does it mean for the world? And what comes next? On point with the facts, unmissable insights. In your interest always. Fastest alerts, hard facts, 360-degree analysis. From breaking news to deep dives, when the world changes, News9 leads. News9, always on top.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Commerce Secretary Rajesh Agarwal says India and the European Union have successfully concluded negotiations for the free trade agreement and finalized the deal. The deal is set to boost two-way commerce and strengthen economic ties between the two sides. India-EU set to sign mother of all trade deals on Tuesday, packed to explore possibilities for India's participation in European defence initiatives. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney likely to visit India in the first week of March. India-Canada to sign deals on uranium, energy, minerals and artificial intelligence, according to India's High Commissioner to Canada, Dinesh Patnaik. BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla accuses Pakistan of misleading Bangladesh amidst T20 World Cup row. He says India assured Bangladesh of safety, but Pakistan intervened and provoked Bangladesh. Political row erupts over Rahul Gandhi's refusal to wear the Northeast Patka at the at-home reception. Refusal draws ire from Assam's Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, who calls the act insensitive and insulting for the people of the region, demanding an apology. Verdict on censor dispute over Vijay's Jananayagan to be delivered tomorrow. Court to finalize the fate of actor's last movie before political entry. You're watching News 9. Pakistan's drama over participation in the T20 World Cup continues. Even as ICC announced its schedule for the tournament, Pakistan's Cricket Board Chairman Mohsin Naqvi met Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Islamabad to discuss the evolving ICC situation, especially in the backdrop of Bangladesh